Have you ever paused to consider the profound impact that photographs of the deceased can have on our spiritual lives? These images, often cherished and revered, can serve as powerful conduits between our world and the next. Yet, there are unspoken rules about how we should engage with these memories that many overlook. In a society increasingly obsessed with nostalgia and remembrance, understanding the spiritual significance of these photos is not just intriguing, it's essential. What if the way you treat these images could either uplift your spirit or inadvertently hinder your connection with the divine? Fulton Sheen, a towering figure in spirituality and a master communicator, had profound insights on the sacredness of memory and the deceased. He believed that photographs are not merely static images, they are vibrant links to the souls who once inhabited those frames. By recognizing this connection, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of life, death, and the afterlife. Ignoring the spiritual etiquette surrounding these images can lead to emotional distress and even spiritual dissonance. Imagine holding onto a photograph of a loved one, but feeling an unsettling energy every time you look at it. This is a sign that something may be amiss in how you're interacting with that memory. In this exploration, we'll unveil the essential practices you should adopt when it comes to handling photos of those who have passed. You'll learn the importance of intention and reverence, and how these elements can transform a simple photograph into a sacred artifact. For instance, did you know that the placement of these images in your home can affect the energy of your space? By placing them in a way that honors their memory, you can create an atmosphere of peace and connection. You'll also discover the significance of rituals, small acts that can elevate your relationship with these memories, allowing you to honor your loved ones while nurturing your own spiritual journey. Moreover, we will delve into the emotional benefits of these practices. By treating photographs of the deceased with respect and intention, you can foster a sense of closure, healing, and ongoing connection. This journey isn't merely about remembrance, it's about transformation. Imagine feeling a renewed sense of peace as you engage with the memories of those you've lost rather than being weighed down by grief. The insights gained here can empower you to navigate your emotional landscape with grace and resilience, allowing you to embrace the cycle of life and death with a more profound understanding. As we uncover the wisdom of Fulton Sheen and the sacredness of our memories, you'll come to appreciate how these practices can enrich your spiritual life. This is not just about photographs, it's about creating a bridge to the divine, a channel through which love and remembrance flow. Are you ready to transform your relationship with the memories of those who have passed? The journey begins with understanding the spiritual significance of these images, and the rewards are immeasurable. Prepare to engage with your past in a way that uplifts your spirit and deepens your connection to the eternal. In the realm of spirituality, the relationship we maintain with our deceased loved ones often transcends the physical world. Photographs serve as powerful symbols of this connection, encapsulating memories, emotions, and the essence of those who have passed. However, the handling of these images can carry significant spiritual implications that many may overlook. The topic at hand, what one should never do with photos of the deceased, addresses a crucial need for understanding the respectful and mindful ways to honor those who have left this world. This understanding is vital not only for personal healing, but also for maintaining a spiritual connection that can be beneficial for both the living and the departed. One of the primary challenges individuals face is the emotional weight that comes with dealing with the memories of loved ones. Grief can cloud judgment, leading to actions that may unintentionally disrupt the spiritual bond. For instance, some may feel compelled to post images of the deceased on social media without considering the implications. While sharing memories can be a form of tribute, it can also invite negative energies or unwanted attention, which may disturb the peace of the departed soul. Understanding the spiritual context of these actions is essential. It's important to recognize that every photograph holds energy, and how we treat these images can influence the spiritual atmosphere surrounding us. Moreover, the concept of sacred space plays a crucial role in how we interact with the memories of those who have passed. Creating an environment that honors the deceased involves more than just displaying their photographs. It requires a thoughtful approach to how we engage with these images. For example, placing photos in a designated area, such as a small altar or a memory corner, can create a spiritual sanctuary that fosters remembrance and reflection. This practice not only honors the deceased, but also allows the living to process their grief in a constructive manner. By framing the deceased's photographs in a way that respects their memory, we can cultivate a space that promotes healing and connection. Additionally, the act of ritualizing the remembrance of the deceased can be a powerful tool for spiritual growth. Engaging in practices such as lighting a candle while looking at their photo or sharing stories about them in a family gathering can reinforce the bond and ensure that their legacy continues. However, it's equally important to avoid actions that can be seen as disrespectful or trivializing. For example, using photos inappropriately, such as for entertainment or as mere decorations, can undermine the significance of the memories they represent. This understanding is crucial for anyone seeking to honor their loved ones while navigating the complexities of grief. In conclusion, the topic of how to appropriately handle photos of the deceased is not merely about etiquette. It is about fostering a deeper spiritual connection and understanding the implications of our actions. By addressing these challenges, we can cultivate a respectful relationship with our memories, ensuring that we honor our loved ones in a way that uplifts both their spirits and our own. As we explore this topic further, we will delve into specific practices and insights that can help individuals navigate these emotional landscapes, providing guidance on how to maintain a sacred connection with those who have passed. Your journey into understanding the delicate nature of photos of the deceased is just beginning. We encourage you to dive deeper by subscribing and joining our community in the comments below. Share your experiences, ask questions, and connect with others who are navigating similar paths. Your insights are invaluable, and your feedback helps us grow together. Let's keep this conversation alive. Your participation truly matters. When dealing with the photos of deceased loved ones, especially within the context of spirituality, it is essential to approach the subject with reverence and understanding. The emotional weight of these images can evoke profound feelings of loss, nostalgia, and connection. However, Fulton Sheen's insights remind us that there are certain practices we should avoid to ensure that our interactions with these photos remain healthy and respectful. One of the primary goals is to honor the memory of the deceased while fostering our own emotional and spiritual well-being. One crucial step is to avoid using photos of the deceased as mere decor or as a means of evoking pity. For instance, placing a photo of a loved one in a prominent spot in your home can serve as a beautiful tribute, but it should be done thoughtfully. Instead of creating an atmosphere of sorrow, consider how this image can be a reminder of the joy and love shared. Create a dedicated space that celebrates their life, perhaps with mementos or quotes that reflect their spirit. This approach transforms the photo from a source of grief into a focal point of love and remembrance, allowing for a more positive engagement with the memory of the deceased. Another practice to avoid is the oversaturation of social media with images of the deceased, particularly in a manner that seeks validation or sympathy from others. While sharing memories can be therapeutic, it's vital to consider the intent behind such sharing. Are these posts meant to honor the individual, or are they a means to seek attention? A more spiritually aligned approach would be to share memories in a way that invites reflection and connection, rather than merely seeking external affirmation. For example, writing a heartfelt tribute or sharing a story about the deceased can foster a sense of community and remembrance without crossing into the territory of exploitation. Additionally, it is essential to recognize the potential for spiritual disconnection when photos are used as talismans or objects of obsession. Some individuals may cling to these images, believing they hold a special power to connect with the deceased. While it is natural to seek comfort in memories, it is crucial to maintain a healthy balance. Instead of fixating on the photo, consider engaging in practices that promote spiritual connection, such as prayer, meditation, or visiting a place that was meaningful to the deceased. These activities can provide a more profound sense of connection and peace, allowing for a healthy expression of grief without becoming overly attached to physical representations. Finally, it is important to remember that the goal of engaging with photos of the deceased should be to foster healing and growth. Avoiding practices that lead to stagnation or unhealthy attachment can significantly enhance the grieving process. Consider establishing a ritual where you take time to reflect on the memories associated with the photo, perhaps lighting a candle or sharing a meal that the deceased loved. This practice can create a sacred space for remembrance, allowing for the integration of grief into your life in a way that honors the past while embracing the future. By following these guidelines, individuals can navigate their emotional landscapes with greater clarity and purpose, ultimately leading to a more profound spiritual understanding of loss and remembrance. In a world increasingly defined by digital interactions and social media, the way we engage with memories of the deceased has transformed dramatically. The current trend of sharing personal stories and photos online has led to a rise in discussions surrounding the spiritual implications of how we treat these memories. Understanding the nuances of this topic is urgent, especially in light of the growing awareness of mental health and emotional well-being. Many individuals are grappling with loss and seeking ways to honor their loved ones, often turning to photographs as a means of connection. However, the risks associated with mishandling these images can lead to unintended spiritual consequences, making it critical to learn what practices to avoid. One pressing challenge is the lack of awareness surrounding the spiritual significance of photographs of the deceased. Many people may view these images simply as nostalgic reminders, unaware that they can hold deeper meanings and energies. In a society that often dismisses spiritual considerations, individuals may inadvertently invite negative influences or emotional turmoil by misusing these photos. For instance, posting images of deceased loved ones in a manner that lacks respect or context can lead to feelings of unrest or discomfort, both for the living and the spirits of those who have passed. This challenge highlights a significant gap in understanding, the need for a respectful and informed approach to how we engage with the memories of those who have died. Furthermore, the current cultural climate, marked by heightened discussions about grief and loss, amplifies the necessity of this knowledge. As more individuals seek to process their grief in healthy ways, it becomes paramount to provide guidance on how to honor the deceased appropriately. The shift toward more open conversations about death and the afterlife has created a fertile ground for exploring spiritual practices that are respectful and meaningful. By addressing the critical aspects of how to handle photos of the deceased, individuals can cultivate a healthier relationship with their memories, ensuring they remain a source of comfort rather than distress. The urgency of this topic is compounded by the rise of digital memorialization. As people increasingly turn to online platforms to commemorate their loved ones, the potential for misunderstanding and misapplication of spiritual principles grows. Many may not realize that the digital realm can amplify energies associated with grief and loss. Therefore, understanding the appropriate ways to engage with images of the deceased is not just a matter of personal preference, but a necessity for spiritual well-being. This knowledge can empower individuals to navigate their grief while maintaining a connection to their loved ones that is both respectful and healing. In summary, the immediate relevance of understanding what to avoid when dealing with photos of the deceased cannot be overstated. As society grapples with loss and seeks to honor the memories of those who have passed, it is essential to address the spiritual implications of these practices. By filling the gap in knowledge surrounding this topic, individuals can foster a deeper connection to their loved ones while also safeguarding their emotional and spiritual health. The time to engage with this critical information is now, as it holds the potential to transform how we remember and honor those we have lost, ensuring that their memories continue to bring peace and solace. When engaging with the spiritual realm, particularly concerning the deceased, it's essential to understand the significance of photographs. Photos often serve as tangible connections to our loved ones who have passed away, acting as vessels of memory and emotion. However, there are practices that can hinder the healing process or even disturb the spiritual balance. Recognizing what to avoid can enhance the respect we show to both the deceased and the living. One of the most critical aspects to consider is the treatment of photographs. Many people may feel compelled to keep images of the deceased in prominent places, but this can sometimes lead to an unhealthy fixation. Instead, consider creating a dedicated space for remembrance that encourages reflection rather than sorrow. For example, a small altar with a few cherished photos, candles, and personal mementos can create a peaceful environment for honoring the deceased without overwhelming reminders of loss. This approach promotes a healthy engagement with grief, allowing space for healing. Another important point is the practice of manipulating images of the deceased. While it may seem harmless to edit or alter photos for aesthetic purposes, This can inadvertently send a message of disrespect. Instead, focus on preserving the integrity of the original image. This not only honors the memory of the individual, but also helps maintain a clear connection to who they were in life. Consider using natural light and simple backgrounds when displaying these images, which can evoke a sense of serenity and respect. Moreover, sharing photos of the deceased on social media or public platforms can be a double-edged sword. While it may seem like a way to celebrate their life, it can also lead to misinterpretation or unwanted scrutiny. Instead, opt for private sharing among close friends and family who understand the context and significance of the images. This fosters a more intimate environment for collective mourning and remembrance, allowing for shared stories and support. In many spiritual traditions, it is believed that the deceased have a presence that can be felt by the living. Displaying photos in a way that invites their energy can be beneficial. For instance, placing a photo in a location where you often meditate or pray can create a sacred space that encourages connection. This practice can help facilitate communication and remembrance in a respectful manner, allowing for a deeper spiritual experience. Additionally, consider the timing and context of viewing these photographs. Engaging with images of the deceased during moments of heightened emotion can lead to overwhelming feelings. Instead, choose calm, quiet times for reflection. This could involve lighting a candle and spending a few moments in silence, allowing the memories to flow naturally. Such practices not only honor the deceased, but also promote emotional well-being for those left behind. Lastly, remember that the process of grief is deeply personal and varies significantly from one individual to another. There is no right or wrong way to honor the memory of a loved one. However, being mindful of how we interact with their images can significantly impact our healing journey. By creating a respectful and intentional approach to photographs, we can maintain a spiritual connection that honors the past while nurturing our present emotional health. Understanding the spiritual implications of how we handle photos of the deceased can significantly impact the grieving process and our ongoing connection to those we've lost. The practice of preserving memories through photographs is common, yet it's essential to approach this practice with sensitivity and awareness of the spiritual dimensions involved. For instance, many cultures believe that images can hold energy or essence, making it crucial to treat such photographs with respect. This perspective invites individuals to consider how they display and interact with these images, emphasizing the importance of creating a sacred space for remembrance. One practical application of this understanding is the establishment of a dedicated remembrance area in one's home. This space can be adorned with photographs of loved ones who have passed, alongside meaningful objects that represent their lives or shared memories. By creating a serene environment, individuals can foster a sense of connection and reverence. Incorporating elements like candles, flowers, or personal mementos can enhance the spiritual atmosphere, allowing for moments of reflection and prayer. This practice not only honors the deceased, but also provides a comforting space for the living to process their grief and celebrate the lives of those who have transitioned. However, challenges may arise when individuals feel overwhelmed by grief or struggle to find meaning in their loss. In such cases, it can be helpful to engage in rituals that honor the deceased while also addressing personal emotions. For example, a family could gather on the anniversary of a loved one's passing to share stories, light candles, and reflect on their impact. This communal approach not only strengthens bonds among the living, but also reinforces the connection to the deceased, allowing for healing and closure. Additionally, incorporating spiritual practices such as meditation or prayer during these gatherings can deepen the experience, inviting a sense of peace and understanding. Another potential challenge lies in the emotional weight that certain photographs may carry. Some individuals may find that specific images evoke intense feelings of sadness or regret. To navigate this, it may be beneficial to curate a collection of photographs that evoke positive memories and feelings of love. This selective approach allows individuals to focus on the joyful aspects of their relationships rather than the pain of loss. Engaging in creative expression, such as crafting a scrapbook or digital album, can also provide a therapeutic outlet, transforming the act of remembering into a celebration of life rather than a source of sorrow. Moreover, the digital age presents unique challenges in how we manage and share images of the deceased. Social media platforms often serve as spaces for public mourning, which can sometimes lead to feelings of vulnerability or exposure. To mitigate these challenges, individuals might consider maintaining privacy settings or sharing memories in more intimate settings, such as private family groups. This approach allows for a balance between honoring the deceased and protecting one's emotional well-being. Ultimately, the journey of grief and remembrance is deeply personal and varies from one individual to another. By recognizing the spiritual dimensions of how we interact with photographs of the deceased, individuals can create meaningful practices that honor their loved ones while also fostering their own healing. Whether through dedicated spaces for remembrance, communal rituals, or creative expressions, the key lies in approaching these memories with intention and love, ensuring that the legacy of those who have passed continues to inspire and uplift the living. In the realm of spirituality, the treatment of photos of the deceased often transcends mere nostalgia, becoming a profound reflection of our relationship with loss, memory, and the afterlife. Advanced strategies for handling these images can deeply impact the grieving process and facilitate a healthier emotional journey. One essential insight is the importance of creating a sacred space for these photographs. Instead of relegating them to dusty albums or digital archives, consider displaying them in a dedicated area that honors their memory. This space can serve as a focal point for remembrance, allowing individuals to engage with their memories actively. Experts in grief counseling emphasize that such intentionality can foster a sense of connection with the deceased, helping the bereaved navigate their emotions more effectively. Moreover, the practice of ritualizing the interaction with these images can yield transformative results. For instance, setting aside time to reflect on the life of the deceased while engaging with their photographs can be a powerful spiritual exercise. This might involve lighting a candle, sharing stories, or even writing letters to the departed, expressing feelings that remain unvoiced. Such rituals can help individuals process their grief, offering a structured way to confront emotions that may otherwise feel overwhelming. Case studies in grief therapy show that clients who incorporate these rituals often report a greater sense of closure and peace. For example, a family that created a memory wall adorned with photographs and mementos of their loved one found that it became a source of comfort and a space for shared memories, ultimately strengthening their familial bonds during a difficult time. As individuals navigate the complexities of grief, it is crucial to recognize the potential pitfalls associated with how we treat these images. One common mistake is allowing photographs to become symbols of unresolved grief, leading to a fixation that can hinder healing. Instead of clinging to images that evoke only sorrow, it is beneficial to reframe the narrative surrounding these photographs, viewing them as gateways to celebrate the life lived, rather than solely as reminders of loss, can catalyze a shift in perspective. Spiritual leaders often advise that this reframing can be achieved through creative expression, such as creating art inspired by the photographs or compiling a scrapbook that highlights joyful memories. This approach not only honors the deceased, but also encourages the living to embrace life and the memories they cherish. Ultimately, the journey through grief is deeply personal, and how one interacts with photographs of the deceased can significantly influence this process. By establishing a sacred space, ritualizing remembrance, and reframing the narrative surrounding these images, individuals can foster a more profound connection with their memories. This holistic approach not only aids in emotional healing, but also cultivates a lasting legacy of love and remembrance. As individuals embrace these advanced strategies, they may find themselves on a path towards spiritual growth, allowing the memories of their loved ones to inspire rather than burden them. In this way, the photographs transform from mere images into vessels of love, connection, and ultimately peace. Understanding the nuances of how to interact with the memories of the deceased can have profound implications for individuals navigating grief and spirituality. Fulton Sheen, a prominent figure in Catholicism, emphasized the importance of respect and reverence when dealing with images of those who have passed. This perspective is not merely a personal preference, but is supported by various psychological and spiritual studies that highlight the impact of memorial practices on emotional well-being. Research indicates that the way we handle memories of the deceased can significantly affect our grieving process. A study published in the journal Death Studies found that individuals who engage in positive remembrance practices, such as creating memorials or participating in rituals, tend to experience healthier grieving outcomes. This suggests that the act of honoring the deceased through respectful means can facilitate healing and foster a continued connection with those who have passed. In contrast, negative interactions with their images, such as using them for trivial or disrespectful purposes, may hinder emotional recovery and lead to feelings of guilt or unresolved grief. Anecdotal evidence supports these findings. For instance, many families create memory boxes filled with photographs and personal belongings of the deceased. These tangible items serve as a bridge to the past, allowing loved ones to reminisce and celebrate the life of the individual. Conversely, there are stories of individuals who have experienced distress after discovering that photos of their loved ones were used inappropriately, such as in memes or social media posts, leading to feelings of anger and betrayal. Such experiences underscore the importance of treating the memories of the deceased with dignity and respect. The spiritual implications of how we handle these memories are also noteworthy. Various spiritual traditions emphasize the sanctity of life and the importance of honoring those who have transitioned. For example, in Buddhism, there is a profound respect for the deceased, with rituals designed to ensure a peaceful journey to the afterlife. Similarly, many Christian denominations advocate for respectful remembrance, as it aligns with the belief in the communion of saints. Engaging in practices that honor the deceased not only helps individuals cope with loss, but also reinforces their spiritual beliefs, providing comfort and a sense of continuity. Statistics reveal that nearly 70% of people report feeling a continued presence of their deceased loved ones, which can be a source of comfort and guidance. This phenomenon, often referred to as continuing bonds, highlights the importance of maintaining a connection with those who have passed. When individuals engage in respectful remembrance, they are more likely to feel this connection, which can serve as a source of strength during difficult times. Moreover, understanding the significance of how to treat photos of the deceased can have broader societal implications. As communities become more aware of the impact of grief and loss, there is potential for fostering environments that prioritize mental health and emotional support. Initiatives that promote respectful remembrance can lead to healthier grieving practices and reduce the stigma surrounding discussions of death and loss. In conclusion, the way we treat photos and memories of the deceased is deeply intertwined with our emotional and spiritual well-being. By adhering to principles of respect and reverence, individuals not only honor their loved ones, but also promote healing and connection in their own lives. This understanding can pave the way for more compassionate communities that value the importance of remembrance and the ongoing bonds we share with those who have left this world. When dealing with photographs of the deceased, it's essential to approach the subject with sensitivity and a clear understanding of the emotional and spiritual implications. Many people wonder about the appropriateness of displaying or interacting with these images. Experts in grief counseling emphasize that photographs can serve as powerful tools for remembrance and healing. However, they also caution against certain practices that may disrupt the peace of both the living and the departed. For instance, using photos in ways that trivialize the memory or essence of the deceased can lead to feelings of guilt or unresolved grief. It's crucial to honor their memory in a manner that feels respectful and meaningful. One common question that arises is whether it's appropriate to alter or manipulate images of loved ones who have passed away. While some might think that editing photos can create a more perfect memory, this can often backfire. Grief experts suggest that authenticity is key. Preserving the original image allows for a genuine connection to the past. This approach fosters a healthier grieving process as it encourages individuals to confront their feelings rather than escape them. Instead of altering photographs, consider creating a dedicated space where these images can be displayed with care. This not only honors the deceased, but also provides a physical reminder of their presence in your life. Another area of concern is the digital sharing of photos. In an age where social media is prevalent, many wonder if it is appropriate to share images of the deceased online. While sharing can foster community support and remembrance, it's essential to consider the feelings of other family members and friends. Some may prefer to keep such memories private. A thoughtful approach is to ask for permission before posting and to be mindful of the context in which these images are shared. This can prevent potential conflicts and ensure that the memory of the deceased is treated with the dignity it deserves. Remember, the goal is to create a space for collective healing, not to inadvertently cause distress. Lastly, individuals often grapple with how to best utilize photographs in personal rituals or memorials. Creating a memory book or a digital slideshow can be a beautiful way to celebrate a life, while also providing an opportunity for reflection. Incorporating written memories or anecdotes alongside the images can deepen the emotional connection. Experts recommend that such creations should focus on the positive aspects of the deceased's life, emphasizing their legacy and the joy they brought to others. This not only honors their memory, but also helps those left behind find solace and closure. In conclusion, navigating the realm of photographs of the deceased requires a careful balance of respect, authenticity, and sensitivity. By addressing common questions and concerns, it becomes easier to create a meaningful relationship with these images. Whether through thoughtful display, respectful sharing, or creative memorials, the key lies in honoring the memory of the departed in a way that resonates with both personal and collective experiences. This approach not only aids in the healing process, but also ensures that the legacy of the deceased continues to inspire and uplift those who knew and loved them. The insights from FULTON SHEEN revealed what you should never do with photos of the deceased. One of the primary points emphasizes the importance of treating photographs of deceased loved ones with reverence and respect. These images serve as sacred reminders of the lives they lived and the bonds we shared. By avoiding the trivialization of these memories, we honor the spiritual connection that remains. This approach fosters a deeper understanding of the significance of life and death, encouraging us to reflect on our own spiritual journeys and the legacies we wish to leave behind. Another critical aspect highlighted is the potential emotional impact of how we handle these photographs. Engaging with images of the deceased can elicit a range of emotions, from sorrow to joy. The way we preserve and display these images can influence our healing process. Instead of allowing these photos to become mere decor or forgotten relics, consider creating a dedicated space in your home for remembrance. This can be a small altar or a memory wall that not only honors the deceased, but also serves as a focal point for reflection and gratitude. By intentionally engaging with these memories, you can cultivate a sense of peace and connection that enriches your spiritual life. To apply these insights effectively, take actionable steps to create a meaningful ritual around the photographs of your loved ones. Begin by selecting a few cherished images that resonate with you. Dedicate time to reflect on the stories and lessons associated with each photo. You might consider writing down your thoughts or sharing them with family members. This practice not only deepens your connection to the deceased, but also encourages conversations about legacy and spirituality within your family. Additionally, think about how you might incorporate these memories into your daily life. For example, you could light a candle in their honor during prayer or meditation, allowing their spirit to inspire your intentions and actions. Finally, as you explore these practices, consider sharing your experiences with others. Engaging in discussions about the importance of honoring the deceased can foster a sense of community and support among those who are also navigating grief. Host gatherings where people can share their own stories and memories, creating a safe space for healing and connection. Encourage others to reflect on how they handle their own memories, promoting mindfulness and respect in the process. The journey of spirituality is often enriched by the shared experiences of others, and by opening this dialogue, you contribute to a collective understanding of life, death, and what lies beyond. Embrace these insights and take the next step towards a more profound spiritual connection. Reflect on your relationship with the memories of those you have lost, and consider how you can honor them in your daily life. Create spaces for remembrance, engage in meaningful rituals, and foster conversations that celebrate life and legacy. By doing so, you not only enrich your spiritual journey, but also inspire others to find peace and connection in their own experiences with loss. In the journey of spirituality and the way we honor those who have passed, it is essential to approach the subject of photographs with reverence and mindfulness. Photos serve as powerful vessels of memory, encapsulating moments that transcend time and space. However, FULTON SHEEN's insights remind us that there are sacred boundaries we must respect when it comes to these images. Engaging with photographs of the deceased is not merely an act of remembrance, It is an invitation to connect with the deeper layers of our existence and the spiritual realm. By treating these images with the dignity they deserve, we cultivate a space where love, respect, and reverence can flourish, allowing us to honor the legacy of those we have lost while also nurturing our own spiritual growth. As we reflect on SHEEN's teachings, it becomes clear that our approach to the deceased, through the lens of photographs or otherwise, should be one of gratitude and reflection rather than mere nostalgia or sentimentality. This perspective encourages us to engage in practices that promote healing and understanding, allowing us to process our grief while celebrating the lives that have touched ours. The call to action in Resolution Part 1 invites us to not only consider how we interact with these images, but also to explore the broader implications of our relationships with the deceased. This exploration can lead to profound insights about life, love, and the interconnectedness of all beings. By delving into related topics, such as the nature of grief, the significance of memory, and the spiritual dimensions of loss, we can enrich our understanding and foster a deeper connection with the eternal. Ultimately, the journey through grief and memory is not merely about holding on to what was lost, but rather about embracing the lessons and love that continue to resonate in our lives. As we navigate this path, let us remember that every photo is a reminder of the bonds we share and the journey we all undertake. In honoring those who have passed, we are also called to live fully in the present, cherishing each moment and each connection. In doing so, we transform our grief into a celebration of life, allowing the memories of our loved ones to inspire us to create a legacy of love and compassion in our own lives. As we continue to explore the depths of spirituality and the significance of our relationships, may we find solace in the knowledge that love transcends time and space, and that every act of remembrance is a step toward healing and wholeness. Let us carry this understanding in our hearts, allowing it to guide us as we navigate the intricate tapestry of life, love, and loss.